All right, everyone. Now I want to go ahead and talk about what I recently fell in love doing in 2018, and that is podcast. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get my podcast off the ground, I had so many questions in the head. How do I record? How do I get my show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and other platforms people like to listen to? And especially, how do I even start monetizing my podcast? Believe it or not, the answer to every single one of these questions is quite simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. And best of all, it is 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with amazing sponsors too, so you can get paid to podcast. My experience so far on using Anchor is just simply amazing. I never knew that you can actually do the three most important things for podcasting for free: record, distribute, and most importantly, monetize. And so far, I am freaking loving Anchor at the very moment, ladies and gentlemen. Best decision I've ever made in 2019. So if you have always wanted to start your own podcast while making money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start and join me, the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchors.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast.
Chance, man, you made this.
I don't know if you heard, but I got a new inspirational and motivational podcast just for you as I share my valuable thoughts and rants of entrepreneurship and so much more. This is John Dimas, your host, signing in, and get ready to listen to another amazing episode of the Hustle Factory Podcast Show. Let's get this shit started. What's going on, everyone, guys? This is officially the second episode for 2020, and I am so fucking ready and excited to get this rolling out today. The reason why is because I'm so excited because I get to use some new equipment in this episode, and finally I got me an audio interface and especially some new studio headphones as well. So hopefully you're gonna see a huge difference on the audio quality at the end of this episode and from the previous ones and so on. And also, if you're new to this podcast, make sure that you're subscribed to this aspiring motivational podcast about entrepreneurship, and also hit the notification bell so you get to see the latest episode I drop monthly. Also, there's only 91.7% of you guys that are currently unsubscribed to this channel. So help my YouTube channel and podcast grow like wildfire by subscribing to the Hustle Factory Podcast Show. Anyways, to get this episode rolling, I've always wanted to start some sort of a series to this podcast. And last year, I tried to start one, but it never went off. Or perhaps I kind of didn't put much effort into it. But this time, you know what? I feel like I can do it this time, and I know once I can get this thing rolling out, and it's just gonna be like a second nature to this podcast. So what's exactly I'm talking about? Well, in this series, I'll be mainly discussing my entrepreneurial rants on certain things I've noticed since I've started my journey as an entrepreneur back in 2015. So I feel like this is the perfect time for me to get this series started. For this one, I'll be calling it my beefs and rants of the month. That's right, you heard me right and clear. Beefs. Perhaps it's just a version of my own version beefing with someone. Point is, I'll do an in-depth insight on some of the things that gets me amazed, even curious, and in some certain situations get really irritated about entrepreneurship and so much more. But in a good way. Trust me, you'll love it, guys. So in this first episode of this series, I'm here to bring out my first beef or rant of the month. And that's regarding about a tweet that I've seen a week ago. And boy, may I just say, it made my blood boiling to the next level in a good way, of course. I'm kind of upset and a bit ridiculed in this post because just the way how this person presented it. Anyways, what this person posted is he or she, or even it saying some negative toxic comment about this certain Twitch streamer on Twitter. I'll go ahead and read the comment on this person posted on Twitter, so that way you'll get the idea where I'm going at. So let me just get my phone out and let me just read the tweet from my phone itself. I got it, don't worry, guys. Anyways, this is what this person said to this Twitch streamer. Why do you even stream? Nobody watches or cares, or nobody cares about your streams or you. I don't know how you have made it this far, why people even keep supporting you. You're not even that good, and you're very annoying as fuck. Like really, just give up already. Tired of seeing you on my timeline. I'm like, really? Oh, and before I forget, let me go ahead and just give a huge fucking shout out to this Twitch streamer at solar_Jules. I hope I said it right. Forgive me if I either mispronounced it or so on. I really don't know your whole name and all that, but I would really love to get in touch with you and connect again. Also, I'm so fucking thankful that I retweeted her tweet about this a couple of weeks ago. If I haven't, then I have no damn clue what to upload for this podcast. Like, I'm all that serious, you know. So, in today's first episode of this series, I want to go ahead and discuss my initial in-depth insight about this person having in this fucking ridiculous way to others. So, in this episode, you'll be expecting to hear the following things from me: the nature of this rant or beef, what caused or triggered to happen, and finally, my final thoughts about it as well. So you really want to stick around to my final thoughts about it, and you're gonna love it. So make sure you're not even pausing this video, because I want you guys to realize how fucking important this is for 2020, and especially for the upcoming years to go. So shall we go ahead and get this shit rolling in? Oh, and I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that this podcast does contain some certain instances where I'll be cursing so much throughout this podcast. So what that means is that this podcast is not for the faint of the heart, and especially this is not for the people out there who get so offended very easily. Okay, I'm talking about you guys out there, like, who's getting all angry up or on the comments below, or they're gonna try to message me on Twitter or whatever. That's something ridiculously got them offended. So pretty much you guys have been warned, ladies and gentlemen. And another reason why I do this disclaimer, because apparently YouTube they started as like a demonetization, something like that, and I'm still new in YouTube and all that, so I'm still learning their policies about that and so on. So I'm just doing this for the sake of YouTube policies and so on. And other than that, let me discuss again the whole deal with this rant or beef what I'm starting for this month. First, this has to be the stupidest and the most ignorant tweet I've ever seen in social media so far in 2023. Aside from the fact it's still February. Fucking amazing, right? Now, my real issue to this tweet is not even about they're attacking me or anything. It's just the fact this particular person has the slightest hint of ignorance to say something so fucking toxic to this particular Twitch streamer about why is she even streaming and why are you even bothering doing so, and so much more. Like, pretty much so much some mean shit that it's not even necessary and needs to be heard of. So for the sake of this series, let me read that tweet again, and I'll pretend to be on their own shoes. I know you guys already heard it for the first time, but I just want you to understand how annoyingly crazy this tweet is, okay? Why do you even stream? Nobody watches or cares. Nobody even cares about your streams or you. I don't know how you have made it this far. Why people even keep supporting you. You're not even good, and you're annoying as fuck. Like, really, just give up already. Tired of seeing you on my timeline. And before I proceed to the next one, the way how he spelled really, he spelled it by R-A-L-L-Y. So it's, instead of really, he spelled it rally. So in other words, he said, and you're annoying as fuck, like rally, just give up already. Tired of seeing you on my timeline. So the next time, whoever this hater is, or whoever this ignorant person is, make sure you spell your words properly, okay? So that way we know exactly what you're talking about. Just a small advice, you know. So, anyways, now that I've read that tweet again, at least we can all agree in one thing, that we know that this person or it is just completely fucking ignorant as hell and immature of this tweet is. We can also agree as well that our first initial reaction will be something like, I don't know, oh hell nah, no fucking way. And so many more reactions we can ever imagine. It's endless reactions, in other words. Anyways, as soon as I've seen this tweet last week, I have to immediately retweet this on my Twitter timeline and make sure to comment about it on my Twitter timeline and on what I thought about it. And I'm going to plan to share that on my Facebook as well soon, because I have a bigger audience on Facebook page as well and so on. Now that I got that nature of this beef or rant covered, let's proceed to the next portion of this series, and that is checking out what really causes this whole thing to happen in the first place. And I'll discuss my final thoughts about it in the end soon. So don't even pause this video, ladies and gentlemen. It's very important. So what caused it to happen, to trigger? Many of us ask, right? So I can tell you right now that the first thing that pops in your head as soon as you heard that tweet I mentioned earlier is that it got you all thinking, why in the fuck would anyone just post a tweet like that to a starting Twitch streamer on Twitter? Well, to many of us, that shit doesn't make any fucking sense at all. And guys, I 100% fucking agree with you. When I saw that tweet, I started to scratch my fucking head off thinking, why would someone would just do that? And as an aspiring entrepreneur, I had a huge realization that this is just another work of someone we're all gonna come across eventually in our life, and no matter what what you do, you're simply not going to be able to avoid them at all. So who in the hell I'm talking about? Well, you guys should be highly familiar with this group of people, and trust me, I get to deal with them almost every single week, every single day, whether by person, face to face, through online, however it is. So we call them haters. Just a group of people who spend so much of their own free time to spread their fucking toxic negativity to others. Isn't that crazy? And as much as I fucking love discussing my entrepreneurial thoughts about this concept topic, there are just so many things out there that I want to say about this. But before I wrap up this first episode of this series, go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're brand new to the channel, and make sure to hit that notification bell icon to see the latest episode I drop monthly. Anyways, back to the episode, guys. So, here we fucking go. Here are my final thoughts of this episode, ladies and gentlemen. On my final thoughts, I'll be adding some more that I wasn't able to mention earlier, and as well as my solution, or kind of like my advice to this. And if you recall earlier, I mentioned that I have a very strong message to all the haters out there. So, I want you guys to listen to this very carefully. Like, don't even dare to pause it, because it's just so important for all of us to know in 2020. First of all, I want to close this first episode of this series by just stating the following things I have in my mind. There are a fucking billion reasons why haters gonna be haters. So haters gonna hate, right? But exactly why? That's a good question. To me, haters exist in the society we live on today because they're often the ones who kind of had it all before, and then out of nowhere, out of the blue, they somehow lost it all just because of one incident that happened to them. And that triggers someone to start having some sort of like a toxic mentality where they believe that the entire world is against them, and also believes that no one even deserves an even slightest of happiness aside from them, right? To me, ladies and gentlemen, the only reason why haters gonna be haters is that they are fucking afraid to fail or lose. Straight facts, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, you know what? We all hate to lose or fail in nature. It's just part of our build as a human being. Yes, we do. But I'll tell you what, the moment I heard and watched an amazing video by Gary Vaynerchuk a couple of years ago, it makes fucking sense to the perspective of an entrepreneur. Ever since then, my very own mindset shifted to the different whole new level of perspective of losing. With that being said, Gary discusses why you should stop seeing losing as a bad thing. Rather, we should all embrace it. Anyways, aside from that, I'll save the other reasons why haters do what they do in the first place soon, because this kind of stuff gets me fucking excited and gets me so pumped up. I'll also go ahead and put the link to the video on that description by Gary Vaynerchuk below, so that way you'll get to watch it and you'll simply be mind blown about it. And trust me, you'll love it, guys. Now, you guys are wondering, what's my solution, my advice, or recommendation action to this? Well, that's coming up right up, guys. I want you guys to tune into this very last part because this is probably one of the most important points of this episode. So let's go right ahead. So this is going to be one of the most important things on this episode, guys. For me to wrap up this episode, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special message to all the haters out there who just seems to think that the entire world is literally against them, or just thinking that there's not a single shred of hope left for their happiness. Well, the thing is, life is a bit fucking complex as hell, as you ever imagine. We all have our ups and downs in our life. It literally could be anything you can imagine. My grandfather once taught me a valuable lesson about life. While growing up in the Philippines, my grandfather taught me that your happiness is one of the most important things in your life as a human being. Now, I know some of you guys out there will somewhat disagree with me with this, and hey, that's fucking fine. Muscle tough. Hey, you do you. But just don't fucking complain to me or even in social media how fucking unhappy you are, how you fucking hate your job and so on, you don't like your girlfriend and all that. And so, don't drop all that bullshit to me, and don't drop that bullshit to anyone else. That's just straight fact. And I know for sure that some of you guys will start telling me in the comments below that there's something more important than your happiness. Like, what exactly is more fucking important than your happiness? Well, whatever it is, guys, I'm sure you're very content with it. And like I said, you do you. So, how is this exactly related to what I'm talking about this episode? Well, haters only exist because they are somewhat unhappy with their life, so that's why they're acting this way. To me, I truly believe that they're only doing this because they're just simply fucking afraid to try again on what they felt doing in the past, and now they're simply acting like a total douche by spreading their toxic negativity to others. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a 100% hater and you're still listening to this, then I congratulate and salute you for doing so. Great fucking job. Just know that I'm not here to make you guys look bad or anything. Rather, I'm so fucking curious why people like them act in a certain way. And at the same time, as an aspiring entrepreneur, it's been always my goal to inspire and empower every single person out here, whether through my social media posts, especially this very podcast you're listening to right now, the Hustle Factory Podcast Show. I'm not just here bashing every single thing I believe it's just plain ridiculous. I'm just so curious why a huge number of people think this way. The bottom line is, I just want to empower and inspire as much as I can through my content and share my value as an aspiring entrepreneur like Gary Vaynerchuk. So, you want to know something about life, ladies and gentlemen? I truly believe that every single one of us here is not meant to be unhappy in life. Rather, we were meant to be fucking happy and grateful all the fucking time. I can tell you one thing for sure is that you are not meant to be a hater. You're not. So what's my final verdict to this? Well, I got a few more things to say and I can finally call this an episode, ladies and gentlemen. Ready, set, go. So if you're someone like her at solar_Jules, having to deal with these haters spreading such toxic negativity on your feed, I got only one fucking advice for all of you guys out there grinding and hustling on your true passion. Whatever it is. It could be either you're streaming, you're a YouTuber, you're a content creator, and yes, it could be really anything, like whatever you're passionate about. Who cares? So my greatest advice is, fuck those haters. Keep doing what you're passionate about. Haters are just part of the game, guys. Plus, if you ever heard of a really famous entrepreneur named Grant Cardone, he once said that if you got haters, then you're doing something right. Oh, and then before that, I also want to go ahead and give her another shout out. Make sure you guys are follow. Make sure to give her a follow on Twitch if you're into gaming and so on. I believe she plays different kinds of games, but I'm not so sure about her. What game she plays in all that. But anyways, I'll go ahead and drop her Twitch link on the description below, so that way you get to follow her. And I'll also go ahead and drop her socials as well. Oh, just another thing for all the haters out there. Instead of fucking dwelling in the past, mistakes or failures, and keep complaining about it, do something about it. Stop bitching and crying like a little kid who got his candy stolen or something. Instead, I want you guys to take the time to start accepting the fact that you fucked up. And it's time to move the fuck on. And especially, stop being so fucking negative. And I mean, I'm begging you guys. And especially, stop acting like the entire world is against you. It's all in your fucking head, guys. Lastly, just remember that failing or losing is just another word for second chance. Just like what my grandfather used to tell me. It's never too late to change your mindset. And it is definitely never fucking too late to be happy. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, those are my final thoughts. It was longer than I expected. I thought it would be short and sweet, but I guess I must have exaggerated just a little bit. But you know what? Hey, who cares? Anyways, that is the end of another episode of the Hustle Factory Podcast Show. So yes, that's the wrap, guys. Just want to thank everyone for listening to the very first episode of this series. I'm still not 100% sure what should I call it, but I'll be able to come up with it soon enough. So don't you guys worry about it. Oh, and I just want to go ahead and give another shout out to her again at solar_Jules. I mentioned from the beginning of this episode. Yes, this is literally the third time I've given her a shout out on this episode. But you know what? Who gives a fuck? I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just trying to support her on her Twitch, on what she loves to do and so on. Bottom line is, if you love gaming and so on, if you love watching different gamers or different streamers on Twitch or wherever platform it is, make sure to go ahead and give her a follow on Twitch. Support her there. Watch her streams and so on. And I'll also go ahead and drop her social media links on the description below as well, and including as well as her Twitch link. So I just gotta ask you guys a quick question. How do you deal with all the haters you got? Whatever it is, make sure you go ahead and comment below your thoughts about it, and go ahead and also comment your honest thoughts about this episode. Did you guys love this episode, this series? Any improvements or any feedback that I can do so that way I can grow better? Other than that, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell to be able to keep up with the latest episodes I uploaded on all podcast platforms and so much more. And also don't forget to listen to other podcast platforms out there like iTunes, Spotify, what else? Yeah, Google Play Store. And I'm trying to work on adding on Pandora, because I know there's some people out there listening podcasts or especially some music on Pandora as well. Oh, and also go ahead and follow us back on our social media platforms. They will be in the description below. Currently, we're live on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and so much more. And but most likely I'm gonna be more active now on Facebook and Instagram, because I wasn't able to do that much a couple of years ago and so on. Oh yes, and one more thing. I want to go ahead and give another shout out to another person that I did an interview on the last episode. His name is Chance Mac. If you guys remember, he's also an independent artist and all that. So if you listen to the intro and outro music, those beats are created by Chance Mac, and he was able to let me use some of his music on my podcast and all that. So other than that, amazing job, man. Just keep hustling out there, Chance Mac, and also I'll go and drop the link to the previous episode that we did, an interview episode on last episode, on the description below. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. John Lim Dimas signing out. Have a nice day, ladies and gentlemen.